Welcome to Alpha Third. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. It's been long that I've posted a video, and today is going to be a Q&A type of a video that you guys have been asking for a long time. I usually get a lot of questions on Instagram, on YouTube comments that how to become a pilot, what are class 2 and class 1 medicals, the cost of type rating, cost of CPL in India, abroad, tons of questions. And the reason I don't make videos on them particularly is because I see there are many YouTube pilots who do that already, and my channel, I have always wanted it to inspire you into becoming a pilot. I don't like to do videos such as how to become a pilot and class 2 and class 1 medicals or something like that. That's not how my channel is, right? I like to make my videos on vlogs. I like to show my pilot life so it inspires you. But because I know I share some responsibility of having at this moment 8,500 subscribers, I need to put out some information that might just help you guys, and this is the video just for that. In this video, I am planning to start a Q&A series, which means all the questions that I get on Instagram, on YouTube comments, I'm going to compile them, and whenever I get the chance, I'm going to upload a video like this where I'm going to answer all of those questions. And we're going to start with this video today where we're going to answer the most basic questions that are usually asked to a pilot. We're dealing with things and topics like how to become a pilot, class 2, class 1 medicals, computer number, DGCA exams, subjects, everything. And then I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to read your Instagram questions and answer them in a live manner. And I'm going to provide timestamps in the video so that it helps you understand what specific question you're looking for, the answer to that question that is, and hopefully that helps. So we're going to start off this video with the basic question that usually is asked to me is how to become a pilot in India. My YouTube has an audience of between 14 to 24 years of age, and I understand some of you are still in your 10th, some of you are still in your 11th, some of you are still in your 12th. And for those guys, firstly, let's start with the basics for those guys. Make sure that you complete your 10th and you get into your 11th, 12th, which is your junior college. You get PCM, at least like a science stream with physics and maths. Okay, you need that to become a pilot. If you have taken commerce, it's still not going to be a problem. You can do something known as an NIOS. Okay, it's an open school and you need to study physics and maths and get it cleared. Okay, once you have that, you're done. For guys in 11th, 12th or 10th or 9th, good luck on your exams, focus on your studies, and as soon as you get good marks, dive into aviation. But now, just focus on your studies. I get a lot of DMs saying I'm in 9th and 10th, what do I do right now? Study, just study, nothing else. You can watch videos on YouTube, that's a good thing, you can learn about it, but it shouldn't hamper your study process of 10th and 12th. Okay, so the main question that I get asked, how to become a pilot in India. Okay, let's try to figure out this way. A pilot in India, a guy or a person who flies an aircraft, is a pilot. So we are particularly diving into that topic of how to become an airline pilot in India. I think most of you want that. You just don't want your CPL in your hand, you want a job in your hand, right? You want an airline pilot's job, those big jets that you see outside. You want that. So how do you get to that, right? That's how we start. So the first and foremost, your requirements that you need is you need to have your 12th cleared with physics and maths. Like I mentioned before, you need to have your 12th cleared. Once your 12th is cleared, you need to get your medicals done. Now, what are medicals? What are DGCA medicals? They are basically a way of assuring that you are fit to fly as a pilot. You as a pilot are going to have extreme responsibilities of the passengers behind you, yourself, and many other things, the aircraft as well. You need to be in good shape and health to do those responsibilities, right? And to ensure that these responsibilities are on point, you have medicals assigned by DGCA. So what medicals do you need? So the first medical that you're going to give is your class 2 medical. It's a class 2 medical. All right, class 2 medical, it's a very simple medical, and they check, people usually ask me what all do they check. Here's what class 2 medical checks on you. So they check your entire body. Your body checkup is done, your blood test is done, your urine test is done, your audiometry is done, your ECG is done, your eyesight test is done, your X-ray and BMI is done, and I think a couple of other more things. And with that, you go to the doctor, a class 2 medical examiner doctor, and a class 2 medical examiner doctor will give you something known as a CA35 form. Initially you will get a CA35 form. Okay, it's given to you by the clinic or the doctor. You fill it out, you give it back to them, they do your test, everything is done, you will sign it off, and then they submit your documents to DGCA on two ways: offline by sending them a post, and on EGCA. What is EGCA? EGCA is the electronic digital version of DGCA, where now things are becoming more simpler. We can submit our documents, our license conversion documents, everything online. So firstly, after 12, get your EGCA account done. Okay, get your EGCA account done, then you jump into medicals class 2. Once your class 2 medical is approved by DGCA, they will send you back something known as a medical assessment. Okay, you need something known as a medical assessment. Once you have your medical assessment, you will be issued in that medical assessment a PNR number. Okay, a PMR number. That number is required for your next and the most important medical in your career, class 1 medical. Okay, so you need your class 1 medical to fly commercially, the big jets and all. So you need a class 1 medical. Now, before I jump into class 1, your class 2 medical, who does it? How do you know? Where do I find it? DGCA, the website of DGCA. Go there. I've put the list of examiners of class 2 in the description below, so check it out, find your examiner, get your class 2 done. Okay, once your class 2 is done, like I said, you'll get your medical assessment from DGCA. Get your class 1 done if you want. Now, class 2 validity 2 years, class 1 validity 1 year. Next, class 1 medical is also as easy as class 2, just a little more additional tests are done. It's a little more complex, but it's not bad. You will pass. People usually ask me, will I be able to pass the medicals? You will. If you can walk, talk, hear, see, do everything like a normal human being on an everyday basis, you will be fine. Don't worry. Make sure, although, that you stay fit, exercise, eat healthy, drink everything properly. No, don't ruin your life in a health manner. Okay, otherwise your medicals get affected. If your medicals get affected, you will not be able to fly. You need these medicals to fly in your career. Alright, the next thing you need is simultaneously. Now understand this one thing. I told you about medicals, class 2 and class 1. Simultaneously, you need to do something known as your DGCA exam preparation. Now, you are becoming a pilot. Naturally, you need to study some subjects, like it's in every field, whether it be doctor, engineer, whatever. In India, in your aviation career, you will also have some subjects. Which ones? So there are 5 subjects in total, which are navigation, metrology, regulations, technical general, and technical specific. Alright, you can go ahead and apply for the later on things. So you need these exams, and there are 5. But to give these exams, how do you start giving these exams? Like I told you about class 2, find a medical examiner, get your exam done. What about these exams? So firstly, 2 things. You need to, for application of these exams, you need to have something known as a computer number. Computer number is like a roll number, which is assigned to you by DGCA. Okay, how do you apply for a computer number? My dear friend Pilot PK on YouTube has made a video on that. I'll put that in the link in description. Check it out. You need to submit some documents, you need to put it in a green file, and you need to send it to DGCA. You need to first apply it online. They'll tell you what to do, get some documents, send it to DGCA, you'll get the computer number. And anytime an exam schedule occurs, which usually happens every 3 months, but now there is something new known as an on-demand exam, which is happening every month. So you can go ahead and apply for it. The fees of each examination for the every 3 month is going to be 2,500, but the on-demand one, which happens every month, is going to be 5,000. There's nothing different in the papers, it's just the money difference, and because it happens monthly, they charge more. All right. One subject which is most important apart from these 5 subjects is something known as an RTR. Okay, it's a radio telephony restricted license, or it's like a booklet that allows you to basically talk to ATC. It's a license that helps you to communicate in the air while you're down there. So you need that license in India. There is an exam for it, RTR exam, which is not conducted by DGCA, it's conducted by WPC. Clear that exam as well. However, if you're going abroad, you don't need to clear it if you're flying from a Commonwealth country like Canada, New Zealand. These are Commonwealth countries. If you fly from these countries, you will not need to get an RTR done, because you might just have RTR from their country and all you have to do is come back and convert it. But if you're doing it from countries like USA or any other non-Commonwealth country, then you need to come back here, or before leaving for your flying, get your RTR exam done as well. Alright? So you do it. Now, how do you study for this? Where do you get the books? I personally recommend you to join a good ground classes. The reason I do that is because you need guidance in this field. You can study them on your own. I've met people who have, but they've been extremely brilliant. It's always better to have some guidance from a person who has flown in the air before, a person who has seen how aviation works inside and out, how airplanes work inside and out, and that's how you need to get into this field, by joining a good ground classes. If you are in need of good ground classes, message me on my Instagram and I will help you find one. I do that for people because that's my goal, to help you become a good, better, safe pilot. Alright? Once your subjects are cleared, okay? Now this is very important. Try to understand this. Once your DGCA subjects are cleared, you can go for your flying. Now, can you go for your flying before your subjects are cleared? Yes, 100% yes. Can you go for your flying before you even get your class 1 medical? 100% yes. But the reason I tell you to do your class 1 medical or your class 2 medicals and your subjects before you're flying, it is because, number one, you know where you stand physically, mentally, and how good your knowledge is in terms of aviation, because you would know where you'd stand when you study these subjects. Alright, that's the number one and the most major thing I tell people, not to jump directly into flying, investing 30s and 40s of lakhs before you even know if you're able to do that field or not, because it's not an easy field. It is something that requires effort and hard work, right? So it's always better to do your papers and your medicals first and then go for your flying. So which flying school to choose? What happens in flying? So according to DGCA, to become a pilot, you need 200 hours. Okay, it has a bifurcation of its own. Within those 200 hours, you need 100 hours PIC, 100 hours some 50 hours cross country. There's a list, which again I'll be putting in the description below. So you need those hours. Once you have those hours, you submit it, you fly with your instructor, you log it down, you need a logbook, and then you give it to DGCA once your hours are complete, once you earn your license, and then you're good, you have a license. But this process is for commercial pilot's license in India. What if you want to fly in abroad like I did? I did my flying abroad. I cleared my papers here, I did my medicals here, and I went abroad for flying. How did I do that? So you want to go for flying abroad? No problem, you can do that. To go anywhere in abroad, firstly try to understand you need to clear the papers in abroad as well. They have their own government, they have their own regulations, you need to clear them. Okay, that's how it is with every country. You need to clear their papers as well, and you need to do flying over there, get their license. The idea is to do flying from there so you can get their license. As soon as you get their license, you come back to India, any country, you come back to India and you convert your license. Simple as that. You show them, alright, here's my 200 hours based off of that country. You can please check my this license, sign it. DGCA will ask you to do some flying in India, and then they will tell you, okay, you're good to go. You have your Indian license. So technically, when you fly from abroad, and when you come back to India and convert it, you will have 2 licenses. One from abroad, the country you've been flying in, and one from India, which can allow you to apply for jobs. Alright. Next. Which one is better? Okay. which one, where should you fly, India or abroad? See, the one thing that I forgot to mention was, in India, if you fly, you will need to clear all 5 DGCA subjects: navigation, meteorology, regulations, technical general, and technical specific. If you fly abroad, in India, you will have to clear only 3: navigation, meteorology, and regulations. Technical general and technical specific go out of the box. You don't need to clear them if you're flying from outside, but if you're flying from India, you need to clear all 5 of them. And when you go to abroad, you need to clear their papers as well. All right. Conversion requirements. What I was talking about, that once you get your license from abroad, you'll have to come back to India, convert it, right? And how is it going to go? How is that conversion going to go? So basically, you need to do some skill flying over here in India and in any flying school, so that they can see you can fly. And there are certain requirements, which again I've put the PDF down in the description. Please check that out, because that will really help you understand what you need to do once you're back in India. You need to get some documents from abroad, signed by your school, and you need to submit them to DGCA as soon as you land here with everything done. All right, that you have your license, what do? So best part, this is where you can either go for your type rating, or you can go ahead and wait for an airline vacancy for fresh CPL holders like you, because you might just get a type rating offer from the airline itself. It's very rare nowadays. It does happen. There was one recently, but it can come at a high cost. So you will have to understand that it can be costly if you decide to wait. So after your CPL, there's 2-3 things you can do. You can go for your type rating, you can wait for an airline vacancy, you can work as a CFI, which is an instructor. You can do certain things. So that's where your path begins. When you become an airline pilot is when they offer you the job. You wait for vacancies and you go inside it, and you naturally get into the flow. There are certain examinations conducted by the airline, and once you clear those examinations with an interview, you are assured the job. Once you get the job, you will fly. Simple as that. There, you became an airline pilot in India. Congratulations. The total cost for all of this, the total cost that you're going to pay for all of this, is going to be about 50 to 60 lakhs max for your CPL, at least, just for your CPL. CPL type rating, you can include it. That's where I take it up to 60-65 max. Not more than that. Once your airline hires you, they will also ask you to pay an airline training fee, which is their SOP, standard operating procedures. You need to pay to understand their procedures. It's not going to be, sometimes it's usually between 3 to 20 lakhs, depends from airline to airline, but you'll have to pay it eventually. So make sure when you start all of this, you have enough money. And if you want to do a side business, do freelancing. I've done that. It's the most fun thing. I think this was the basic that I've tried to answer everything. If you want more in detail regarding, because it's an ocean of information, and I don't think one video could ever cover it. So I would love to answer all your questions down in the comments below, or on my Instagram at alpha.atharv. Please send your queries over there, and I'll love to solve it with more detail, because in this video, if I be more detailed, this video will be like 40 minutes or something, and I cannot afford that. So I've got your questions right here with me, and we start with Akash. I complete your training from which school? So Akash, I completed my training from To Fly Airborne in America, which is located in Merritt Island, Florida, and it was the best school I've ever been to. And it was a really good experience. I love that school, and I'd recommend it if you're asking for me. So Yash is asking me, why am I not applying for a job as a pilot? I have certain plans. It's not like I'm sitting stationary. I have a lot of things to do currently which are related to aviation. So you will get to know eventually. This channel is all about that. You will see in my future vlogs what's going on, what has been happening. It's all going to be there, Yash. Alright, people are demotivating by showing that many people are having CPL but no job. So this is a really good question. I see many people telling me, is there jobs for pilots? Many pilots are sitting at home doing nothing, no applying. The thing is, it depends. I was in your situation thinking the same thing, that there are no pilots, uh, that there are pilots sitting at home not doing anything and no vacancies coming and all. It takes time. We're in a country where aviation is gradually increasing, and my estimation is by 6 to 7, 8 months, all the way up till 2 years, in this time period, it's going to increase exponentially. You will have vacancies, but try to understand one thing: aviation is something that the rich can afford but won't work hard for. The poor can't afford but will give their life into it. If the poor can do that and they give all their heart and soul, I promise you they get the job. They get the job done. And the rich who spend all that money, get their licenses, they won't get the job because they didn't put much hard work. It's honestly, I'll tell you, I've met many people in my life who've blatantly given money, but they didn't have the knowledge or anything that I thought required to be a pilot, and I knew that that would cause them trouble. And I feel many people are like that. And the people who are hardworking, they there are stories behind every person, guys. So you need to understand that it's not that they are not trying. They're sitting at home not for a reason. They have tried, vacancies have come, they might have given it, they might have not got it. It depends from person to person. So don't be demotivated if that is what you're thinking. Do not be demotivated. If you get demotivated, you lose your passion, and passion is something that you need in this field. Honestly, you need passion so you can go ahead. Many pilots that you will meet today push themselves for passion. Figure it out. Sit down, close your eyes and figure it out. You don't need to be demotivated, because I'm telling you, I've met pilots, deserving pilots, who are in jobs today. I can promise you that if you are hardworking enough, you will be in a vacancy seat, which means you will be in an airline. I'm not saying it will be very fast. As soon as you get your CPL, you get your vacancy in a year. It takes time. You're in a developing country, especially where aviation is growing. It will take a bit of time. So you just have to need to have a little patience, but keep working hard. You will get it, alright? Total cost of CPL in USA. Now, right now, it's currently about 50 to 53 lakhs and the living cost in America is high as well. So that is how it is. What about pilots in future for next 5 to 10 years? See, no one, not even me, all of us can only give a prediction, because we may be in the industry, but even the pilots in airlines don't know. I spoke to a friend the other day. Even he doesn't have any idea. No one can tell you the situation 5 to 10 years. You might have another pandemic in the next 2 years and everything falls down, right? But based on the graphs and everything's analytics that we see, there is good scope for pilots in the future. Okay, there is good scope. Try to understand it. This is not as simple as just I'm telling you yes or no. It is very complex than that. It is complex that you are asking me if there's going to be scope for pilots in the next 4 to 5 years. I'm saying yes, but it's not as simple as that. There's going to be clauses, specifications. It depends on the factors. There's going to be factors. So yes, it is a risk when you go in, but you just have to kind of ponder on a bit of your luck also. You need to take that risk if you want it. If you have the money, go for it 100%. If you don't have the money, don't. If you do not have the money, don't jump into it. Don't go crazy on it. Fantasy and passion are two different things. Focus on passion if you have the money and then go for it. But if you have fantasy, don't jump right into it just by seeing videos by some guys on YouTube and something like that. No, don't do that. Alright. Can an autopilot alone land a plane? Yes, it can. Usually captains and first officers take controls as soon as they're 50 feet above the runway when they're approaching. It does usually. Now planes can land themselves. So yeah, if that answers your question. Very short question. Alright, some questions are there, but I'm not reading them because the entire video was just about that, so hopefully that helps. Okay, last one side. Alright, if you have specs, can you become a pilot? 100%, yes, but there's a clause. If you can see 6x6 with your specs, if there's the board, right? If you can see every letter, every number properly with your specs, you're fine. It's in the military and air force that usually don't take you guys with specs, but in commercial flying, they do. Okay, so don't worry. What is the height requirement? Cadet pilot programs are now available. I am not in touch with any cadet pilot programs. I know a few friends of mine who did it before. They are still in the process right now of getting their type rating done. It's been a long backlog because of COVID and another due to factors and something like that. Jet Airways got shut, so there's a ton of things. So I don't really recommend that, but that's your choice. If you have that money, because cadet pilots cost a lot. If you have that money, go for it. And height requirements, at least I would say 5'2" is fine. Try having a 5'2" of an height requirements. Beyond that as well. Below that depends. You need to ask your class 1 or class 2 examiner. It's for the rudders near your legs. You need to control the aircraft, right? It's for that. Can Indians do cadet pilot programs in US Airlines? Yes, you can, but depends on certain factors. You need a work visa, which if they provide, go for it. If you have that work visa, you can even work in their country. But without a work visa, even if you have the license, you will not get a job. You're not a resident of America, of South Africa, nowhere. In India, you're a resident, you'll get a job here. But if you have a work visa or a residency like a green card of any other country, 100% you can work there. Okay, I am wrapping this up. It was a fun session. Please send more questions on my Instagram, alpha.athar. And just know that I'm summing this up with saying it is a good, rewarding career, but you have to be hardworking in it. You can't expect that you have a license and you'll just get a job. I know many people that can fly but aren't pilots, if you know what I mean. Just get into it, be passionate about it, and you will hopefully get a job. I have my wishes with you, but even after all, please don't believe any YouTuber, not even me. Don't believe in terms of when I say you will get a job, you'll get a vacancy down there in the line. It's all speculation, even from me. That's the exact thing I said in the start of this video. When I was talking about airline vacancies and how it's going to be in the next 4-5 years, I said it's a prediction. It can go wrong. It is looking good now. It will look good by what I can see in the next 1 year, but it is a prediction after all. So please try to make your own decisions by looking at your own analytics, talking to your parents about it, and then making a decision which you can live with later on. Try to make decisions that you will not regret. Try to be in tune with your career, with your friends. Do not go into certain bad things. Think of me like your big brother who's advising you this. And if you have any specific personal detailed questions that you like to ask me, because I've got some, but if you understand, I can't openly tell it here because it would just extend the video a lot. So please DM me so I can help you get through with that question. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.